Welcome to my fireside chat with Lisa, and this is Mysterious Mystical Moments. And today I will be talking about, since it is Weird But True Wednesday, about a true fact that actually came out of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It is, of course, the creature Frankenstein and the doctor, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, Victor. Now, Mary Shelley, when she wrote in 1818 the book Frankenstein, she really started a whole new perspective on people's lives, especially to doctors and those who are in need of organ transplants. And she never knew about it until, I'm sure she never found out about it, but her actually writing the book had made scientists and doctors believe that organs from the deceased can be transplanted in other people's bodies and be brought back to life. Now, of course, the story of Frankenstein starts out with Victor Frankenstein, and he was a brilliant scientist who was like a natural science, a student of the natural science, they said. And Victor, of course, was a Swiss man. He was from Switzerland, and he created an artificial man, which is Frankenstein. Now, Frankenstein's monster is what they called it. Now, why would they call him a monster? Because back in the days, of course, they didn't have the whole thought of organ transplants or anything like that. So it was gruesome, So Mary Shelley actually wrote about a man named Victor Frankenstein who built a man, an artificial man, from pieces of corpses and brought it back to life. And they called it his creature. Now, like all of God's creations or any creation of life, it needs certain aspects. It needs love, affection, and attention. Nurturing, kindness. But the creature's appearances and stuff like that made him hideous because of all the scars and the bolts on his neck, of course, and his height and his strength and everything. And so it scared people because he was different. And so it scared the townsfolk to death. Of course, bringing back someone from the dead, of course, would scare people to death back in them days too. But the townsfolk met, of course, with the monster or the creature, and judged him by his appearance alone and his strength. And they didn't really get to know how kind and generous and caring he really was. And in Mary Shelley's book, of course, they say how he met a little girl and a blind man and befriended them and everything. And in the movies, you see him too that way. And they all make out that Frankenstein is a kind and gentle soul. His appearance just makes him look scary. We today, use organ donations from those who have passed away, and they can have their organs donated to help others live on with their lives. And I think that doctors and them actually came about that through Mary Shelley's book, Frankenstein. We also doctors use defibrillators to shock a person's heart to beat again, to bring them back to life after they have died. As Victor Frankenstein used the electricity from the lightning bolts and the energy from that through his bolts around his neck, to where he hooked up like jumper cables and hooked it up to his neck. So doctors, of course, have pedals now, and they just shock a person's heart to beating again, and that brings them back to life. Now, are we called monsters because doctors do that? I no, but we still have that stigmatization of being different. If you look different, then you're called ugly or being a monster or scary looking. If we have scars, if we are overweight, if we are too skinny, if we are tall or short, or have a hump, or any kind of disfiguration, we are called scary looking or different. Um, and that's what the townsfolk judged Frankenstein's creation, because he was different. And of course, we know the story of Frankenstein. If you don't, they actually brought pitchforks and stormed the castle to kill the monster, as they said. And people judge people by their appearance. They even judge by their words. If they're labels, like he was labeled a monster, a creation, was created, from, like we all are. And many movies, like I said, like from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to Monster Squad, they all portray how sweet and kind he is and protective of those he cares about. And of course, he became furious when the villagers tried to hurt Dr. Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein, his creator. So that's why they ended up saying that he was mean and cruel. Now, actually, the story is based on a real doctor. He was a doctor, an alchemist, named John Conrad Dipple. Now, it was inspired Mary Shelley to write the movie, or the book, Frankenstein. He claimed to experiment on corpses at Frankenstein's castle and believed that he could bring a body back to life. Now, he probably was the one who, not probably, he was the one who started all this about organ transplants and about defibrillators and things like that. It makes sense. And why not? It's just, every story that we have about monsters and stuff, I will be showing you this month about the monsters that we grew up with in the Universal Studios monsters, in which creations like Frankenstein had true meaning to them. And you'll be surprised on all the things. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like it, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up button, please, please, please. Thank you for watching. Share some kindness and shine your inner light for those in the dark. Peace.